As the anniversary of the March 11th earthquake and tsunami approaches, the Japan Society of Boston is preparing to host its annual gala. Joining me to tell us about the gala and also bring us up to speed on the current status of the Japanese recovery is Peter Grilli. He's president of the Japan Society of Boston. Also with us, Elly Brown, a member of the advisory committee for the Japanese Disaster Relief Fund of Boston. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in. Peter, let me start with you. You've got your annual gala coming up. It's going to be at the Westin Boston Waterfront. Is that correct? April 18th. It's a fundraiser for Japanese relief and also for the Japanese Society of Boston. Tell us about it.
Well, one of the main things that's happening this spring, apart from the disasters in Japan, is the beginning of a new direct flight between Boston and Tokyo that Japan Airlines is launching on April 22nd, and that's long awaited. For people who fly to Japan, they no longer will have to go through New York or Chicago where there's a direct nonstop flight now. So we're celebrating that, for one thing. The chairman of Japan Airlines is coming as our main speaker for the event on April 18th. And simply the fact of that nonstop flight is going to transform a lot of business between New England and Japan. And the flight will also be bringing many more people from New England, not only to Japan, but to other parts of Asia, because Tokyo is really the hub for Asia. So it's, for those of us in the Japan world, it's a life-changing kind of thing. So we're going to be celebrating that.
Okay, and that's going to be on April 18th?
April 18th.
Okay, at the Westin Boston Waterfront.
Right.
Okay, now, Elly Brown, again, you are with the Japanese Disaster Relief Fund of Boston. You've got a concert coming up, the Tohoku Benefit Concert. That's going to be coming up when?
It's March 17th.
Tell us about that.
So, right, it's basically timing with 1 year after the disaster. It's a benefit concert and reception called Hope for Tohoku. And so it's gonna feature Boston's top chefs, traditional classical music, composed by a Japanese composer, and traditional Japanese music with koto, as well as we're inviting 2 high school students that were orphaned from the disaster to talk about their experience and share their stories. So there are a lot of things going on with the event, and it should be a very exciting event.
And it's when and where?
It's March 17th, and it's in partnership with the Longwood Symphony Orchestra, and it's at the New England Conservatory. Okay.
What about the disaster relief? You're raising money. Both your organizations, you're raising money for the disaster relief in Japan. I guess how is the disaster relief going? One second, Peter.
Well. The fund in Boston, which the Japan Society and the Fish Family Foundation created immediately after the disaster last March 11th, has raised just over $1 million over the past year, and that's been distributed among about 12, 13 different NGOs or nonprofit organizations are working on the ground, helping children, particularly of families that were displaced or disrupted or left homeless by the tsunami. Among these 13 organizations, we've made grants between about $30,000 and $50,000. No, the biggest one was $100,000. And I'm told by friends in Japan that they were very meaningful. So I think we've done a good job with that. In a larger sense, the United States in total has raised millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it really makes, I was raised in Japan as an American. It makes me really proud to be an American helping our friends this way, because America is really foremost in the disaster relief.
And Elly Brown, I guess from your perspective, how's the disaster relief going, the recovery and everything else from what you see?
Right, so as Peter mentioned, we just finished our round 2 grant process. We've administered and distributed about over $400,000 in grants. Basically,
when you say grants, like where do they go? What kind of grants, for example?
So to give you a bit of flavor in the organizations we're supporting, I'll give you two examples. One example is an organization called Kizuna Foundation we supported. They're involved with economic development of the communities in Tohoku. So one project that we funded was redevelopment of a ravaged dock in Koishihama. So Koishihama really relied on shell farming, particularly scallops, as the lifeblood of their local economy. So by investing in this project, we're helping create jobs and providing hope to the people in the community. And
finally, Peter, maybe I'll give you the last word here. Talk to me about the connection between the United States and Japan through the Japan Society of Boston. It's an old organization.
It's an old organization. We've been around for more than 100 years, but the relationship with Japan is now 200 years old. It's a very active one. It's a relationship that's gone through many changes. As everybody knows, we were at war 60 years ago, but now it's an extremely positive relationship. And the Japanese look to America as their strongest friends.
Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. Again, we've got the two events coming up, the gala on April 18th at the Westin Boston Waterfront and the Tohoku Benefit Concert March 17th. And that's going to be taking place where?
That's at the New England Conservatory.
Okay, both to raise money for, among other things, the Japan disaster relief. Elly Brown, Peter Gurley, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Well, when Urban Update returns, Alberto Vasallo talks with the co-producer of Wild Swans, currently being performed at the American Repertory Theater in Cambridge. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.